Hello YouTube, it's Ben here from Team America 1, coming at you guys with a updated deck profile of my Sylvan deck, and this is a tournament report for Saturday, May 30th, I think. Anyways, I actually won the event with this deck. I went undefeated, which is kind of cool. I'll talk about matchups, and then also, before I do anything, just a quick announcement. I kind of posted a video about it a couple days ago, but there is a new team member joining us. His name is Justin. He's a friend from my locals. He'll be uploading throughout the summer and hopefully for X amount of time. I'm not sure, but he will also be adding some videos, and both of us, we actually ended up going first and second. So that was pretty cool. He was playing Inzektors. It wasn't even his deck. He was just borrowing it. So. But anyways, let's just get right into the profile, and then I'll talk about matchups. So to start off, I played the 3 Geargia. Geargia is absolutely mandatory at 3 in my opinion. Zooming in. The reason why I say it's mandatory is because just the power plays you can get off with any rank 7 plays. It also allows you to make Leo with a Spore, so the double Hermitry rank 8 plays were actually the MVP of the day, so I actually thought about putting this back up to 3. The only issue that I have with it is the fact that it's so dead in your hand. But outside of that, there's cards that can help sack it, which makes playing 3 not as bad, but I think that the 2 right now has been working, I guess is what I should say. But when one of these guys gets bottomless, it gets really hard to make power plays, so I think 3 is going to be a mandatory thing now. The double Marshall Leaf, this put in work like all day. Put in work against Geargia. It put in work against what else did I play? Madolche. Madolche was like it wasn't that great against Madolche. It put in work, like I said, against the Geargia matchup, against the Madolche matchup, and then I'm blanking on the other 2 that I had. But this card was really good. I bumped it back up to 2 just for this event, and I think I like it at 2 better. I only play 2 Peacekeeper. This card can get really bad when you draw it, so that's the only reason why I cut it down. And then the 2 Kumashrumu. This card just wonderful. Set, Excavate 5, same old stuff. And then 1 Flower Knight. I like Flower Knight a lot, but not enough to keep it in, like bump it up to 2. And then the 1 Sylvan Princess Sprout. I do not play Cherub Sprout just because of a lack of targets, I guess. I do play the level 1s, but I just don't like Cherub Sprout at this time because it's such a terrible draw. And you want the most consistent draws in my opinion, especially with this deck. That's it for just the Sylvans, and then for the standard plant lineup, I run the double Lone Fire, 1 Spore, and 1 Fallen Angel of Roses. It's the same as last time, no Dandelion. Dandelion has proven to be one of the most cloggy cards. So that's that, I guess. And then for the last 2 monsters, and this was a tech for today, and after today, this card is staying in the deck. My friend actually mentioned this to me, but I was playing double Rose Archer. If you don't know what this does, its effect is during either player's turn, when your opponent activates a trap card while you control a plant type monster, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. That's just really good right now. And this card contributed to every single one of my wins today, which I think really makes a point of this is actually a really, really, really good card. It won me both of my Geargia games. When I 2-0'd Geargia, game 1 he had a Mirror Force and I Rose Archered that. Game 2 he flipped up Gozen Match, I Rose Archered that. And he had nothing from that point on. So this card single-handedly won me my Geargia matchup, that's for sure. It won me my matchup against Madolche's. I was pushing for game. He tried to bottomless on a soul charge, but since they were on the field, I Rose Archered the... No, I had a Kumashrumu face up. So that's when I Rose Archered that. But yeah, so I was pushing for game there, and I really wish I could remember everything else because I'm completely blanking right now. What was all there? There were 2 Evil Swarms. I didn't play Evil Swarm. Okay, round 1 I went against Madolche. Round 2 I went against something. My last matchup was Geargia. Oh, round 3 was Spirits, and like I said, I am blanking on round 2. Who was it? I don't know. I'm sorry. That was just a waste of time. But I will figure it out. For the spells, triple Sylvan Charity. This card just too good. There's no explanation needed. The one rank up magic, the 7th one. This card was so funny. I resolved it like 5 times today, which is ridiculous. Out of 4 rounds, half the time it was just because I drew both of these. But I've never actually drawn this as my 6th card to start off the game, and I want to so bad. My friend did it against me when he was borrowing my deck, but outside of that, no. But it's a good card. It's very fragile at times, but it's just a good card, I guess, to have. It just gives the deck more of a power play, and it was a better one of than other cards that I was playing. So, double upstart, no 3 because it is a soul charge format, and that's a really bad excuse, but I know that, like, especially with this deck likes to push a lot, so damage really isn't a thing. I just don't like giving them soul charges. So, speaking of soul charge and other Monster Reborn type things, 3 Miracle Fertilizer, self-explanatory, Monster Reborn, and then double soul charge, again self-explanatory. I bumped it up back to 2, I think. I was only playing 1 for a bit, but 2 is good. Double Mount Sylvania. I never really used this card too often, but it's because I never drew it. But it was like good. I think I used it once. It was good when I used it, but and double Space Typhoon. 3 is just too many right now in the main deck, especially with the artifact stuff. For the traps, 1 Solemn Warning, the bottomless. I bottomless and I activated Torrential off of a soul charge. One guy's soul charge for 3, and then bottomless, and that was really funny. But the 1 Divine Wrath. Divine Wrath is cool. 1 Phoenix Wing, 1 Blast, and 1 Sylvan Blessing. And I just remembered what my last matchup was, so I'll talk about that afterwards. Side deck is like weird, I guess. Double Max C, the double DD Crow. I never sided those in. I sided in Max C. Main sides I actually sided in today were the Space Typhoons and the Dust Tornadoes. Anything that hits back row. Mystical Ref Panel, I sided these in. Double Chain Disappearance. This card was really just in here for Madolche's. And Inzektors and Geargia. If you don't know why Geargia, you can hit their Geargia play, which is somewhat devastating. It just slows them down for a turn. That's the only reason why. And Spirits, because my friend was playing Spirits. But double Iron Wall. Iron Wall was in here because there's a Chain Beat player. Otherwise, I really wouldn't have said this in. And then these were Exceeds Reborns. I was borrowing them from a friend, so these were Exceed Reborns just because I knew there were 2 Evil Swarm players out of like 14 players, 15 players, so it was fairly small. And then for the extra deck, and then I'll go over my matchups. The 2 Oriya. Oriya put in so much work. This card is just so good. It's my favorite. So, I like this card a lot. The 1 Dracosack. Dracosack is cool. I didn't make this card as much as I wanted to be honest. a lot of my wins were contributed to having a Felgrand on board over any rank 7. So this is just, the rank 7s is more of a toolbox in my opinion now. The one number 11 Big Eye, this was really good against the Spirit player because he had a Fire Hand, so I just Big Eyed it. I knew it was a Fire Hand because it was the only card in his hand and he said it. And he had recently added it off of Duality. So I just made Big Eye, took his Fire Hand and then made a Stardust. So I thought that was a good play. For the 8s, double Felgrand. Never made this card more than once, but I definitely had the opportunity to. This card is really just a one-man army. This card won me my Geargia matchup, it won me my Spirit matchup, and it won me my Inzektor matchup. Yeah. I didn't make this against Madolche, I didn't really have to. I did make Aurea bounce everything and then attack for game, but this contributed to 3 of my wins, so overall it was just a good card to have. But yeah, there's that, and then 1 Sun Dragon, I never made it, 1 Giant Grinder, only made it once, so, and it got bottomless, so I was sad. For my C numbers, the 107 Galaxy Sakion and the C107, technically you could say I made this once off of the Rank Up Magic, but I actually didn't make this as much as I used to. My main target was Masquerade and C104 Masquerade. This card is so busted. If you don't know what it does, when it's special summoned, when it's special summoned, just you can target 1 spell trap card your opponent controls, and then when your opponent activates a monster effect during either player's turn, you can detach 1 to negate that effect, send 1 card from the hand to the graveyard, and then half your opponent's life points. This card's really good against Geargia, so I'd much rather make this against Geargia than that. And then for the Synchros, very limited. 1 Black Rose, 1 Stardust, and 1 Leo. Like I said, I made the Stardust and I made the Leo. I never made this card, so this card's going out. Synchros are just not as good in this deck, and I've come to realize that. So, that's it for the deck profile. My matchups, round 1, I won against Madolches, and I 2-0'd Madolches. Round 2, I went against the... round 2 I went against Spirits, and I 2-0'd Spirits. It was my friend playing Spirits, so... Game 2 was actually pretty hard. He almost got me game 2. But then, Rank Up Magic, the 7th one. And Rose Archer. Rose Archer, the D Prison, it was really good. Round 3, I played against Inzektors, and I 2-0'd Inzektors. I just opened better, I guess. I don't know. And Rose Archer is so good. Like, I Rose Archer to D Prison, and I Rose Archer to 1 other card. I forget what it was. I want to say it was like a Vanities, but I can't remember. Yeah, my memory's really bad, you guys. I'm sorry about that. I should write these things down. And then round 4, I 2-0'd Geargia, so overall I didn't lose at all, actually. So that's actually really cool. But yeah, so overall this deck is not tier 1. I don't care what people say. They're like, the hardcore fanboys of this deck are like, Sylvans are tier 1. They're really not. They're sitting right now tier 2 in my opinion. Some people consider this a rogue deck of the format, which is fine by me because it makes me able to play this deck longer, I suppose, before anything gets hit. But knowing Konami, they'll hit Charity to 1, and then they'll hit Lone Fire to nothing, and I will be sad. So, that's it for the deck profile, that's it for the tournament report. Yeah, so we're making a banner for the channel, which is an update, and we are also making a new intro, so check that out. But yeah, so I'm really excited. And then the last announcement I have for this channel is I am going to be gone from June, or from today until like July 7th, or July 28th actually. because of family vacation and a summer job that I'm working. So uploads will be very sporadic for me, depending on not whether I take my stuff up to the camp that I'm working at or on the vacation. Another thing that is a bit sporadic is just the times that I will be back in town. So maybe not as many tournament reports, which is something I'd really like to do. Just weekly tournament reports for you guys. I'll talk to Justin about this too, because he will be doing tournament reports as well. But yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully you guys are excited for the new member, for the new content. And then shout out to Dragon Shield, because these sleeves are awesome. But thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.